Hi, this is Jackie from the Builderall team. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to access your Cheetah WordPress pages. Now, the first thing you will need to do is choose whether you're going to work with your sites or your stores. In this example, I'm going to choose sites. And if you haven't logged in yet, you are going to be prompted. So I'm going to click on admin, and it's going to ask me for my username and password. And I'm going to click login. Once I'm logged in, on the left-hand side, you're going to see pages. You can go click on all pages. And then you will see all the pages that you've already created right here. So you can just go and click on Cheetah Builder. And it will take you straight to the Cheetah page that you are looking for. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you in another. Hi, this is Jackie from the Builderall team. In this tutorial, we are going to do an overview of the Cheetah Builder settings in Cheetah WordPress. Now, right here, I've already opened up a home page that I'm working with, and you can see right here at the top it says home page. Then next to it, we've got the desktop view that basically says default. Next to it, it's tablet view. If you click on tablet view, this is the way it's going to look on a tablet. If you click next to that one, that is the responsive view for mobile. So I'm just going to go back. Then we've got the do and undo button. And if you click on this little plus sign right here, it's going to open up all your elements. And then we've got preview of what your site would look like live, as well as a done, which means it's basically the save element. On the left-hand side is a bar menu. If you click on the bar menu, it's going to open up a lot of different settings. The first one is the layout mode, and you can see there's two different ones. The first one is default, which is basically you are going to only edit the content. Canvas is the complete site as it is. So that's why I choose Canvas. Then we've got page settings. So when we click on page settings, it's opening up a block like this. And this is the page as you're seeing right in front of you. You will be able to set the background, and right here is the type. At the moment, we've got a global background, but you can change it to a specific color, a gradient, or even a photo. But in this case, it's a global background. And you can also choose the size and the padding according to your needs. Next to it is the layout of the page. We have chosen a Cheetah canvas and not a default template, so I'm going to leave it at that one. Scrolling up, we've got the header and the footer. Because we have created a global header in WordPress, we applied it, but you can go and change it by clicking on custom header, and you will see it ask you to go and manage your headers to apply it, or you can even make use of a themed header, but we're going to leave it at global. And the same applies to the footer. When I go to the CSS, this is specifically for advanced users if you know any coding. So I'm just going to click on cancel. Let's go to the next option, which is the global settings. Now again, we've got page, layout, fonts, and CSS. Again, we've got the background of the global settings of the site and not just the page. And here you can also choose to use the color, the background, and the size. At the top, we've got the layout again. You can choose to show the default heading, which is yes, or you can choose to take it away. The same with your rows. You can change the size of it, the width of it, the height of it, the margins, as well as the margins of the elements, how you're going to interact with your pop-ups, the responsive layout, whether you want it to be responsive or not. This is all the different restrictions or settings that you would like to apply. If you do not know what it means, just hover over this little icon, and it's going to give you a little bit more detail pertaining to that specific item. Then we've got fonts. These are not yet being enabled with different kinds. It's coming soon, as you see. And then we've got the CS and JavaScript for advanced users. So I'm just going to close that, go back to the side. The next one is to publish the layout after you have made changes, to save it as a template, to duplicate this layout if you want to. And revisions, if you click on revisions and you have made some mistakes or major errors, you can always go back. Let's say I would like to have that specific one. You would be able to just click on apply. I'm going to click again on it. The same is with history. The WordPress admin is going to take you back to the admin area in WordPress itself. The tour is just to tell you a little bit more about the Cheetah Builder, and that is to go back to the back office. And that is the overview of the page settings. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in another. Hi, this is Jackie from the Builderall team. In this tutorial, we're going to look at the Cheetah Builder elements and Cheetah WordPress. So right here on my dashboard, I've got my homepage open, and right here at the top is a gray plus sign. If you click on that, it's going to open up 4 tabs: Elements, Rows, Templates, and Saved. Now we're going to do it a little bit backwards, and you'll understand why I'm doing it that way. If you click on the Save element, this is the option that you need to click once you've made a change on your site. Then we have got templates. You will be able to choose different kinds of templates. If I click on templates, you'll see that there's different kinds that you can choose from. So you can apply the templates that's here, or make use of landing pages. At the moment, we only have a blank one. The next one is rows. Now WordPress work in rows and columns. So you would not be able to add any elements to your page if you haven't loaded a column. So you can see that we have got different kinds of columns here. There's 1, 2, up until 6 columns. And then one that shows to the left, 1 to the right, and 1 in the middle. So you can see that there's different kinds. So if I just close this here and hover over the existing ones, because this one at the top, even if I hover over it, it's not going to do anything, because this is a header, a global header that's been created, but it has got 3 columns right here. So if I scroll down, this is a line that's been added, and that is a 1 column. In this one, you can see it hovers, there's 1 column right there, and there's another one on this side. So it's basically 2 columns, but we've got different elements inside of this whole column as a whole. So if I click on it, you can see this this line that runs around it, this blue line, which is basically 1 column, but with 2 different kinds of elements inside of these 2 areas. So if I scroll down a little bit more, again, there's 1 panel right here with these different kinds of 1 column. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 in this area. So we're going to play around with it just now when we get to the elements area. So I'm just going to click on the plus again. Let's go to elements. Now for elements, there is different kinds that you can add. We've got basic elements, we've got media elements, and we've got layout, then the very amazing Builderall Apps, and we've got WordPress widgets that can be added. Now, all of them has got something in common. All of them basically, if I click on this one for an example, has got general, style, and advanced. If it doesn't say general, it's probably going to say content. So if I click on this area here, this one is general, this one shows content. Content, style, and advanced. So all of these elements here has got these basic settings that needs to be applied to all of them. And we are going to cover them one by one in the next few videos. I hope you enjoyed this short tutorial, and I will see you in another. Hi, this is Jackie from the Builderall team. In this tutorial, we'll take a look at the WordPress widgets that you can add to your Cheetah WordPress site. So right here at the top, I've already added a row there. And we've got all these different kinds of elements. If you come to the bottom where it says WordPress widgets, you would be able to add different kinds of widgets to your site depending on what you want to do. So I'm just going to do 2 so that you can see the differences between it. So I'm just going to go to one that everybody likes, and it's the search button. So if I drop that one in there, you can see it gives us the search. And now we need to modify it slightly. We can give it another title right there, or we can go to the advanced area and change the look and feel of it by changing the margins, the visibility of it as well. Remember, the breakpoint is very interesting to use for different kinds of devices. We've got animation if you want to add some animation to it, and then the export and import button. Plain and simple with that one. And let's do one more. Let's look at the calendar one. If I just add the calendar one there, Remember, this calendar is not the one that you would do a booking on. It's just a calendar. So you can see what it looks like. Under the general area, you can give it a title. And under the advanced areas, the look and feel of it. And that's basically what you can do. There's different kinds of widgets that you can add. You need to play around with them. And this is a short tutorial, but like I said previously in previous videos, all of these elements basically have the same type of functions. They've got general style and advanced, or it says content style and advanced. And then one thing that you have to remember, every element that you click on have got this little mini toolbar coming up where you can remove an item. You can also edit the column and you can duplicate it. You can also open the settings, which is this settings area here, or you can move it from one place to the other. If I do that, you can see that you can move it. And that's basically all there is to the WordPress widgets. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I'll see you in another. Hi, this is Jackie from the Builderall team. In this tutorial, we're going to look at the Builderall apps that we have in the Cheetah WordPress. So right here, I've already added a row where we're going to work with. I'm going to click and I'm going to go to the Builderall apps. And we only got 4 right here, but that does not limit us. Remember, we can still add an iframe or a HTML code for anything that we can find can be imported and be used onto your site. It's just that these Builderall apps all integrate very nicely with the site. So if we go grab the WordPress, the booking app, it is important to know that you cannot add a booking app if you haven't created one. So it's going to bring it up and it's going to say select a calendar. If you don't have one, you can always go and click on manage my calendars and it's going to take you to the booking app where you're going to create it, and then you can come back and refresh your page and then choose a calendar. So in this case, I'm just going to click on Health Coach so you can see what it looks like. If you have more than one group inside of that calendar, you would be able to only embed the first coaching session. You don't have to embed the whole one, but I'm just going to leave it at that. And then you can display the calendar information, yes or no, the height of the calendar. And if we go to advanced, and this again, like with all the other items inside of the elements, is to be able to change the look and feel, whether you want to animate it, how it's going to be visibly shown, the export and import, because they are always basically the same type of information that's been repeated in all the videos. So that is how you would add that one. If I click on Mailing Boss, this is basically the opt-in or an email marketing form that you are adding. So if I go to the general area, it's going to ask you for your Mailing Boss list. So if I want to just click on that one, it's going to bring up the details for that list that you've created. And remember, if your Mailing Boss has got more fields, you need to go change it inside of your Mailing Boss. And then you can say a new tab or same tab when they open it up. And if you haven't got a list, you can go and create it first and then come back, refresh and choose the right list. For the form style, again, it's exactly what it is. You are changing the way the form looks by changing the background, the labels, the fields, and all of those information. And the same applies to the button. You would also be able to change the title of the button, the background, and the look and feel. So that's basically, again, the same type of thing that's been recurring on all these type of apps that we have. Now, if we do the video hosting is also the same type of thing. You're going to be able to go and select a video that you've already uploaded inside of your video hosting in Builderall. And you can choose whether you want to autoplay it or not, show the controls or not. You can see we've got all these different functions that you can choose from. And if you haven't uploaded a video yet, you can go and manage it by uploading another video. If you go to the advanced section, again, this is the look and feel of it, whether you're going to add some animation to it, and if you want to change the spacing in between the items or whatever you are creating right there. And then the last one is going to be the webinar, which is also very, very nicely done. If I go to the webinar area right here, if you've already got a webinar ready, all you need to do is go and choose that webinar, and it's going to be added to your site. You can then just change the height if this is not right for you, or you can go manage it And then the look and feel again can be changed on the right hand side. And that's basically all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in another. Hi, this is Jackie from the Builderall team. In this tutorial, we're going to look at the layout elements in the Cheetah WordPress. We are going to click on this little plus at the top, and we are going to look at layout. So I've already added a row right there so that we can look at it. And I'm going to drag and drop it inside of that row. And you're going to see what the accordion looks like if I scroll up and down. It's quite nice. If I click on it, you can see what it looks like. And now what we need to do is we're going to look at these items individually. So obviously we've got this now chosen. We've got items, style, and advance. Now for the accordion item right here, you can see that you would be able to edit the accordion by changing the title. You can add content media to it. There is the visual and there is text. So for the visual area, you can change it right here. If you need to have the text or the HTML code for it, just click on text area there. And you can click on add media and choose your media there, or upload another file if you like. And I'm just going to scroll back again and click cancel on that. You would also be able to do the settings and expand it first. You can choose yes or no and the space between the items. If we click on the style, this is where you change the color, the background, the type fonts, the style, the border, the padding, icons, as well as the body details and fonts. So it basically repeats itself for the body, the icon, and the header. And then the advanced area is the spacing, the visibility, animation, export, and import. And then the last thing is, if we add any of the elements, even whether it's a layout, a basic element, let me just go back and adding the accordion here. You're going to see right here that we've got multiple things. You can move it around. You can also have the accordion settings. If you click on that, it's going to open it up. You can duplicate it, and you can also edit the column if you want to by clicking on it and change it, and you can also throw it in the dustbin. So what I'm going to do right now is I've just clicked out of it because I didn't save it. Now we're going to add the tabs, and let's take a look at the tabs. For the tabs area, we've got exactly the same thing. Your tabs is here at the top, but let's go to the tab items. You can individually edit them. So again, if I click on it, it's going to give you the option to change the tab title, the icon that has been used. If you want to add some media to it, as well as the text, and then change around your visuals right there, and add some links if you're interested in that. Or you would also be able to play around with the settings, whether you want it vertical or horizontal. You can see it's going to change right there on the side. I'm just going to put it back to horizontal. And how you want the navigation system. Simple is yes or no. It's currently in Portuguese, but it is yes and no. And then we've got style. In the style area right here, you can choose whether you want the background types changed to a solid or a gradient, your alignment, font, style, and spacing. It's always the same type of things that you would be able to change around. Then we got the navigation item, which you also can change the background around, the icon, as well as the content. So for everything, you would be able to edit the look and feel of it. The same in the advanced areas. It's all about spacing, the visibility, choosing different kinds of animation for it, HTML elements, as well as import and export. So let's go to the next one. We've got a pricing table. If we go take a look what that looks like, clicking on it, it's going to open up your pricing like this. Let's go to content first. Here we're going to choose the title, as well as the title subtitle underneath. This is where they talk about the price. If you're going to have any images, you can upload it right there. We've got some features here. Again, you can edit the feature and also show on the inside. If you click on it, you would be able to edit these little icons as well as the color. Just going to click cancel again. And you can choose, do you want to show the features or not? I'm just going to leave it on yes. And then the button at the bottom. This is where you're going to change all the details for the button. You can see right there. You can also add an icon. And this again for the style is exactly the same type of thing. Every single thing of the pricing table, you can change the radius, the shadow, the pricing, the size, all of those different things, as well as with the buttons style. And that's basically that one. And then we're going to go and look at a card. What is a card? If we drop the card in it to see what it looks like, it's a photo with an element on the side of it. So there's quite nice. It looks very nice for me. I love it. You can add some ID media to it. There is your visuals, some design features to make it look better. Our style again is to change everything on the inside of this. You would be able to play around with it. Change the way the button looks and act. This is where you're going to change that. It's quite nice. If you have worked with the Cheetah Builder, you would see that many of these things are the same. And it's just a little bit easier because it all scrolls so nicely. And then we've got the advanced area again, where you can play around with the animation and visibility. So I'm just going to click cancel again. I'm going to go back to the plus and testimonials. Now we're looking at the testimonials. It's going to give you a sample there, quite nicely done. And again, spacing, visibility, and animation. And then we've got the layouts. How do you want the layout? The avatar on the left, the avatar on the right. How many columns you are going to make use. The gap between these two. You can see that is the gap between it. If you are going to have a carousel, yes or no, or is it going to stand still? The speed and the interval. And the dots here at the bottom. Do you want the dots? If you do, what is going to be the color? And again, the style is all the different kinds of things that we've done before. Only difference is we've got the avatars that we can change, as well as the content and the author. And that is all the testimonials. You can read it, self-explanatory. We don't really need to go into depth with regards to that as well. And then for menu is the same type of thing. We're going to click on menu. And you have to remember that if you've got a menu, not a menu, you need to go and create your WordPress menu first. There is a tutorial on how to create a WordPress menu inside of WordPress. And if you don't have one, you're going to have to apply it right here. And you can see it's been added. And then you can change the style. Now you can see the background, so you can obviously change it to any color. You can give it a border. You can change the height, the radius, the way it looks on mobile, as well as the advanced area. So it's basically, like I said, every time in these videos, they all have the same type of features. And that is basically everything under the layouts. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you in another. Hi, this is Jackie from the Builderall team. In this tutorial, we're going to work with the media elements in the Cheetah WordPress. So right here on this home page, I am going to click on the plus. I'm just going to add a row that we can, or a column that we can work with. So let me just drag it, and I want to put it right there. So you can see we've added that now. We've got one column to work with. Let's go and scroll past the basic up to the media. Now again, all of them has got the basic things, so I'm just going to add it inside there. We have got general, style, and advanced. So with this specific one, you'll see the photo source that we've got media and we've got URL. If you click on media, you need to click and select to upload your photo. You can upload, or you can use the ones that's already there, or any of your Builderall images that has been loaded already. So I am just going to leave that for now. And if you want it to be a URL, you need to supply the link of the URL where it needs to fetch the video from, or the image from. Then we've got the caption, and you can choose to show the caption when people hover over it or below the photo, or you can leave it at never. And you can add a link. And if you want to add a link to it, you can do that by clicking URL and have the link right there. You can choose for the search engine to follow it or not, and how you want it to be opened up in a new window, tab, or stay just where it is. And you can also use Lightbox and photo file right there. As for the style, it's basically the alignment and the width and the color of the image on the outside, the border. This is what you're going to do right there. And advanced again is for a little bit more advanced users. If you want to make a breakpoint, you can do that. You can add some animation to the image. If you click on it, you can see there is all the options, how long it is going to be, and if you want to delay it a bit, if you want to add some coding to it, as well as import and export. So let's go click again and we look at the video. So if I drag the video and go back to general style, again, you can see that you can go and select a video that you've already have in your media library, or you can go and select and upload. You can see the maximum size of a video is 256. And then you can also choose whether you want the video to be auto-played. Do you want it to loop? And do you want it to be sticky on scroll? So basically what sticky means is if the people are scrolling on your website, it's going to stay in their view. It won't scroll with the page. Then we've got the controls area. Are you going to allow the play and pause button? You can choose between view or hide. The same with the timer, duration, the volume, and the full screen. And then we've got some structured data here, as well as a fallback, which is also a little bit more advanced users, but you can choose a fallback video as well. And then we've got style, the border, obviously the radio, the color, and advanced styling with the margins, animation, visibility, export, and it's basically, again, like I say, the style and the advanced is mostly the same. So I'm just going to click on cancel. And then we've got it the same. Let's go try and add the gallery again. With the gallery, we've got basically the same. It's only in the general area where it keeps on changing. Here you can choose a grid or mosaic. So I'm just going to leave it on grid. You can choose how many columns it should have with the images, the row height, and this is where you're going to add your photos. If you click on it, you can start adding photos, or you can add new ones. It's absolutely up to you. Also, the size of it, is it small, medium, or large? Are you going to allow captions on the images? Are there going to be any clicks to it or not? And then we're going to go to style, and this is about the spacing of it, the color if you want some border around it, and shadow, and again the advanced area. So let's go click again. And now we've got the slideshow is basically the same thing as the gallery. You are going to add your images that you want, and you're going to do the display height. You're going to be able to crop, it says there, crop set to no will fit the slideshow images, which is very nice. It's because they give you these hints that you can follow. The playback area is how long you want to be played. Is it autoplay? Is there any transition that's going to take place? And is the photos going to be randomized? And then again, the controls area, are you going to allow navigation? So that is for that one. Then we've got an icon. You can add icons to the site. This is quite a nice one. If we click on edit, you're going to see there's quite a lot of different ones that you can choose from. You can also add a link to it, and if it opens up in a new window. I actually love this area here. Then we've got the style, is where do you want to place it in your site, the size of it, as well as the color. You can change it if you don't like that specific color. And you can also do the advanced area to make it visible or not, the animation area of it, export and import. Okay, so let's go again further. Now we've got the timer. As you can see, all of these elements is quite easy to understand. You don't really need to have a university degree to be able to apply these different kinds of things. If I click on it, I can just move it out of the way. There is a due date and a countdown cookie. That is an important function to have. How long do you want the cookie to remain? And what happens after it's finished? Is there a message that's going to be displayed? Are you going to hide this? So this is an excellent feature to have, especially with launches. Then we've got style, which is the box style. What do you want it to look like? The colors, the radios, the numbers, the label, and again, the advanced area. So I'm not going to go in detail because I'm sure it's self-explanatory. The same with social icons. If I drop these social icons, you can see them all there. You would be able to go and edit them. So if I click on edit, you can see we can change the icon to your brand. Maybe you have got your own brand image. you want to apply that, this is where you're going to do it with your link. So that's again self-explanatory. There's some styling that you can change. Maybe you would like it to be more square, then you can apply it right there. You can see how it changes, as well as some advanced features. And the last one is going to be audio. In the audio area again, under general, we've got a media library, which is a link. You can link the audio, or you can choose and upload your own by edit and use the ones that you have, or you can upload a new one. And then we've got the advanced area again, where you can change it accordingly to your needs. And as I said before, most of them all have the same type of settings, that you can apply. And that's basically all about media. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in another. Hi, this is Jackie from the Builderall team. In this tutorial, we're going to work with basic elements in Cheetah WordPress. So right here, I've got my homepage open. I'm going to click on the plus sign at the top, and we are going to look at the basic elements, which is this column right here. Now, like I said in previous videos, all of these has basically got the same type of thing. So if I click on this, most of them will have a general, a style, and an advanced area. If it hasn't got general, it will say content. For an example, text is classified as content. But we're going to go through them one by one. So I'm going to click on plus, I'm going to click on title, and I'm just going to drag and drop it into that specific row. And you're going to see it's open it up right here. So there is your title. So this is the place for your text, where you add your text. You can change your tag to say if this is an H1, an H2, or an H3, which is very important for search engine optimization. And then you can also link it to something specific if you want to. And then if people click on it, do you want them to open in a new window? And do you want it to be followed by the search engines? So that is basically the basic content area. When we click on style, you can change the color, you can change the font. If I click on that, you'll see that it's the font family, the weight, the size, the line height, where you want it to be aligned, as well as some spacing that you can work with right there. And then you can also apply some shadow to it if that is what you want. Then we click on advanced. In the advanced area is where you look at the margins, as well as the visibility of it. Now, this is a very cool feature right here, is the breakpoint, and that is if you would like it to be shown on different kinds of devices. So here you can choose that. You can also choose the display area right there. If you want it to be animated, and this is the area where we'll choose that. If you click on it, you'll see there's different kinds of animations that you can add. And then you can also have the HTML element. So if you've got a little bit of programming skills, you would be able to add all of those details right there. And then you can also export this element or import others. And this is what you're going to do in that area right there. So I'm just going to click on cancel because we're not going to make use of it. And let's take another one, because like I said, they all have basically the same. Title and text is going to have the same. So let's just click on button and we add the button. Sorry, let me just grab it into a row. And now you can see the button has been added. And we're going to go to content. Again, you're going to give it a title and a subtitle. So if I just type in here buy now, it will change it. Let me just go back again. And you can give it a subtitle if you want to. I just want to do that. Oh goodness, let me just no. And then you can add an icon to it as well. There's quite a lot of icons that you can choose from. You can see there's quite a lot of them. You're going to keep scrolling forever. So there's an icon that you can add, and you can link it to a pop-up if you've created a pop-up. And you add the link of the pop-up as well as a new window, or force the download, or no follow. Force download's a very interesting one as well. So that all of this is for a link. If you click on pop-up, this is where you're going to choose the pop-ups that you've created. Under style is basically the color, the font, the size, the padding, the color of the background, the border, and the title. Basically just the way that you would do it in a normal Cheetah builder. This is what you're going to find right here. Under the advanced section is where we talk about the margins and the spacing. You can change it by just clicking on this icon here, and you would be able to set it up so you don't have to go in there at the top like we normally do with the Cheetah Builder. So you can change it by just clicking on this icon right here. Then we've got the visibility. You can also begin the breakpoint, which is the interesting one, whether you want it to be shown in certain devices. And the animation, if you want to allow animation, if there's any delay and duration as well. HTML and export and import. So again, basically the same type of functions. So let's go and click. And that applies to the spacing. It's the same type of thing. If I add spacing into this area, you would be able to manage the spacing between the different kinds of rows and the visibility, animation, exactly the same as I said previously. And then we've got the list. So let's drop the list and take a look at what they look like. There is our list. So again, we have got the items that you can edit by clicking on the item right here. You would be able to edit the icon, the list, give it a link if you want to add a specific link to it, and open it in a new window, and add an icon in the front, which is this blue little icon here. It's quite nice. It looks really good. And then we're going to scroll down. At the moment, the default icon is that. You can change the default there. Style again is basically the color, the text, the font, and if you want any dividers into it, and then the advanced area. If we're going to click on plus a sign, we've got HTML and iframe. So when you've got coding experience and you want to add some HTML coding, you can do that by just dropping it in, and there is the place for the embedded code. And you also have the advanced function again for visibility, animation, export, and import. And the same applies to the iframe as well. If you've got anything that is inside of Builderall that is with an iframe, you would also be able to make use of that. So if you've got a super checkout item that needs to be on this page, you can do that by dropping it into the iframe. It's basically the same type of thing. If I drop it in right there, you can see if I go right there, this is where you're going to drop in the HTML code or the URL or embedded code. So you can choose between the two. It's basically any of those ones. And that is all about the basic elements inside of WordPress Pro. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in another.